What's up? How's everyone doing today? Let's see. The chat thingy won't go away. Okay, there we go. Hi, how's everyone doing? I just want to let everyone know that I'm having way too much fun editing next Wednesday's video today. It's annoyingly fun. I really do love editing videos. I always thought that I'd have a more formal education when it comes to editing videos, and I have not had that at all. But nonetheless, it is fun. I really like putting in like the little silly things that make people laugh. So that's that's where I'm at when it comes to editing videos. But I have a little ghost investigation video for you guys next Wednesday. But today I really appreciate all of you coming here for another live stream. Hello! Hello from New Orleans. Oh, I love your city. New Orleans is fabulous. It really is. I have a couple like Patreon videos that I put out from when Amanda took me there and we did recording, and I have other stuff that I really want to edit. I just have not had the time to do it, but eventually I'm sure that'll come out either on Patreon or YouTube itself. um, so yeah. Hi Maya. Hello. So if you guys don't know, today we are doing live stream readings. I'm finding the stuff that I can do to pin in the comments for you guys. So we're doing live readings as well as we are having a fundraiser for adopting children and like foster care, if you will. So the first organization is called Foster America, and the second one is the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption. So I don't know if you guys have ever, I'm sure you've heard of the Dave Thomas Foundation, honestly. um, but how can I get this to work better? Let me see. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make sure that I can pin the comments so that you guys can both purchase live stream readings as well as make donations. It's a little bit harder. We'll do Foster America first, and then we'll do the Dave Thomas Foundation, and I'll just pin them at different times because it only lets me put so much in for pinning comments. To be honest, I didn't, but thank you for raising some awareness. Oh, thank you. I said in November, December, we are doing I'm trying to do fundraiser lives too. So it's not just about me doing readings, which again, you guys are more than welcome to do because that's the other reason why I'm here. However, I also want to try and do a little bit of fundraising. If it's 50 cents, great. If it's like $1, great. Anything like that. I'm trying to get this to work. It doesn't want to work. 50 cents, $1, anything like that for these organizations that I just think are very, very awesome. So, okay, let me see. Maybe that works. Okay. So I'm going to pin this one comment, and then I'm going to set a timer for an hour from now. So if you guys hear my phone go off, that's why. We'll be here till 5, so hopefully we have about 2 hours to do things. But a couple things that are important to me, just like personally, is that if you didn't know, my husband was in foster care. And if I had unlimited amounts of money to do things, I would. My other 3 are around me too. Oh, yeah, that's Gatsby. He's snoozing. So my husband was in foster care when he was like from age 2 to 3 or something like that. And it wasn't the best experience for him. His sister was also in foster care. Hello. But it was a much better experience for her. So it's just, if I had unlimited amounts of money, I would love to become a foster parent. And my whole thing that I talked about last week was I think you get money from the government per foster kid, but I'd like to make enough money at some point in my lifetime, or if I could, hypothetically speaking, that I wouldn't have to use the money that comes from the government every month for foster children. And I would instead take all of the money that is given to me from the government as a foster parent and put it in an account for that child so that when they age out of the system, which happens to a lot of children actually, then they can have that money for themselves. So it's stuff like that that I think about. And okay, we got a timer. So the first foundation that I found, and it was annoying a little bit because I actually couldn't find many organizations that have. Oh, thank you. Someone donated. Let me know too in the comments how much you donated, because this will be up as a replay, and hopefully, people will see. We'll keep like a tally of how much we were able to raise as a fundraiser. So I also want to adopt, right? Exactly. So, all right. My mom was adopted. That's the other fun fact, or story, if you will, for the reasons why I feel compassionate about adoption and the foster care system. So my husband and my mother, $2 right now. No, that's perfectly awesome. That is fabulous. I'm sure that $2 goes a very, very long way, Maya. Thank you so, so, so much. Okay, so we got $2 so far. Now, I couldn't really find very many like foundations, organizations that actually do like work with foster children and adoption, honestly. So the Dave Thomas Foundation, if you guys have ever went to the not convenience store, the fast food restaurant Wendy's, that's his adoption center. So like he helps specifically, I think there's more of a focus on finding children that are older within the adoption care system, find forever homes. So like say like 5 years and up. So like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16-year olds. That's really what I think that foundation tries to focus on. And right now, I think the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption actually has adoption matches. So they have a whole bunch of like sponsor donors, if you will. So if you donate to the Dave Thomas Foundation during the holiday season, they'll match that like 100%. So if you guys want to look that up on your own, I'll post that link in just a little bit. Like 40 minutes is when I set my timer, but that's what they're doing for the Dave Thomas Foundation. They help with adopting children, but with a focus on older children finding forever homes, which again, when it comes to adoption, is a little bit harder. Now, the organization, though, that I have pinned first in the comments, as well as, a link for readings if you want to book one with me, the live stream readings, is Foster America. And what they do is they actually focus on keeping children out of the foster care system by training like people in social work in order to have people that they train in social work find jobs within the foster care or adoption system, if you will. I think it's more so foster care, so that they can change the policies and how the foster care system works to bring awareness to the reasons that children are up for foster care in the first place, which is like unstable housing. Their parents have medical issues that they can't take care of or need help or assistance with, things like that, or like food scarcity, things like that. So they help families to sort of overcome the problems that they're having, whether it be unstable housing, unstable food, medical problems, etc. Those things that could break up a family from happening in the first place. So that the family doesn't have to go through losing their children because they don't have the resources to help themselves. So Foster America is kind of like, let's get rid of the problems before the foster care system happens. And then the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is, if the children can't make it through that and they are in the foster care system and they are up for adoption, then it's helping those children that are older find families. So those are the two organizations that we have today. And anything that you guys can do to donate to help would be absolutely fabulous. And again, let me know what you're able to donate in the comments below, and we will keep track of it. So far we're at $2 for Maya, which is fabulous. And I thank you guys so much. Again, donation is not necessary. Purchasing a live stream reading is not necessary. If you also have questions about like spiritual things and mediumship, that's what I'm here for. So let's get into it. Oh, I'm so sorry about like the out of breath thing. It's just happening today. Okay, let's see. I know I would love to have just foster children. I don't know if I'll ever be able to conceive, so adoption is on the table. My mom my mom was adopted when my grandmother was like 38 years old, and she has a brother who was also adopted who's 6 years older than him. So my grandparents had problems with conceiving, and they adopted my uncle and my mom. So one of them, my uncle was actually donated, or not donated, adopted from Greece, which I think was really which is kind of really cool. And then my mom was adopted here in the States. But anyways, okay, so I'm gonna check my phone because I do think that everyone does need a second chance. You're right, Maya. Okay, let's see. So I'm offering pet psychic readings today as well as mediumship readings. And I think someone bought a mediumship reading already a while ago. Um, so let's see. Again, the links for donations are in the comments right here. So if you want to do Foster America, make sure you click the Foster America link. That'll take you directly to the page. Again, well, I didn't say this yet, but I'm not directly accepting donations um for the organizations. So if you want to directly donate to them, the link is pinned. But if you want to make a reading with me, that link is also pinned. So please use the links for the actual like organization, because that money will go directly to them. Okay, so I know not a couple months ago, when I posted this live stream online, there was somebody already purchased a reading like the day that I just posted this on the YouTube like community channel, if you will. Um, and it was Laura. Is Laura here today? I really hope you're here, Laura. Otherwise, I'm going to email you and ask you if you have like 3 questions that you want answered as an email reading, because that's what I've been doing if people miss their readings but schedule one. So, is Laura here? You scheduled a reading for the live. So I hope Laura can be here. Dino Stardust, is that you? I'm Laura. Okay, Laura, what is the first letter of your last name? Just to be sure. Let me know. I know you can do it. You can do it. It is. Yes. Okay. Not to say that you're a liar. I just want to make sure that people like that actually made their readings get their readings, because some people could do this. Hello, Linda Garden Lady. It's nice to see you. Okay, so Dino Stardust is Laura. So, Laura, I know you said hear from any past loved ones, but do you have a specific person that you would want to talk to? Also, if you see me writing, it's just because I am. Oh, your dad. Okay. Did your dad have a very big sense of humor? Was he very funny? Because you said my yes, that is a cat in the chair. That is Gatsby. He is napping. That is his job. Because when you said that you wanted to talk to your dad, um, I had the word "hey yo" come into my mind, and I was like, wait, isn't that what I don't want to call you Laura. It's Laura. No, it is Laura. My brain is mush today. Is Laura. That is the what came to mind, but I was like, wait, no, Laura just said that. So I feel like you have a bit of your dad's sense of humor. Did he have a big nose? Is that rude? I don't mean to be rude to say, but he's kind of being silly about it. I love talking to people. I appreciate you guys doing this because this is what I love to do. I'm just making sure that I'm going through the readings correctly. A handsome big nose. Okay, good. Because he kind of, and again, if this isn't what he looks like, he's just using it as a sort of a joke to give me like a comparison of who he kind of was, maybe what he kind of looked like, more like character traits than being literal. But do you guys remember the dad from Full House, who I think actually ended up being a stand-up comic at one point in time in his life? I could be wrong. You can definitely correct me. I can't remember his name, but you know the dad from Full House. This is what Laura's dad is telling me that he's kind of like. So I feel like he's a like very big family guy, very funny, sensitive, and had a big sense of humor. And then he says he has a bigger nose. But um, do you have any specific questions for your dad, Laura? Because he is around you and he's very happy that you talked about him or asked about him. Um, but he doesn't necessarily have anything immediate to say. Unless, Laura, do you have children? Sounds like my grandpa too. He was like that, but he had big ears. I think people with big anything are funny. I like big hearts. I have a big nose. Every time I go to anything that's family related, I'm like, that's my dad's side because we all have my dad's nose. Bob Saget, yes. Okay, no children. That's all right. So, do you specifically have any questions for your dad? He's very happy that you asked about him, but he doesn't tell me anything specific that's going on in your life right now, that you may or may not need advice on, or if you do want advice, it's not something that is outwardly that he's talking about. Um, okay, so you're taking care of your mom. All right. So when souls don't necessarily have something immediate to say, it's because you're doing a good job taking care of the situation by yourself and you more so want something from them more than you need something. Usually when people need something, souls will immediately start talking about stuff to me, giving advice or perspective, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, Maya's so cute. She says, I send you all the strength, Laura. I know. I could only imagine what it is like taking care of parents, but the fact that you're taking care of your mom is extremely, extremely important. Not a lot of people would do that. My mom works in nursing homes and it's hard sometimes. So, um, okay. So, any specific questions for your dad? He is around you. He's very funny. He's very positive, but there's nothing specific that's going on in your life right now that he necessarily needs to give you information on. But if you ask, he might be able to give me more. It's kind of like dominoes. If you ask the question, it falls down and it can lead to more things. So, that's kind of what I'm asking. Also, Linda Garden Lady, if you'd like to sign up for a reading, if you go to the pinned comment in the chat or it says a live reading with Liv and it's metapsychics.com, that is where you can purchase a live reading if you so choose. We're doing psychic medium and pet readings today. And then again, for all of the new viewers, if you would like to donate to Foster America or the Dave Thomas Foundation, right now we have Foster America listed. Please click the link directly, and that will allow you to donate to the organization directly on their homepage. No questions for me, but I know my mom would want to know if he's around her. Um, Is your mom a little bit more of a worrier, Laura? Okay, because I was just gonna ask, were they very, very close? And you're, I was like, that's kind of, I don't want to necessarily ask that because you're already asking if your dad is around your mom. So I was like, that's kind of a silly question to ask. But I asked your dad, and then immediately you wrote in the chat they're very much in love, which is really cute. Is your mom a little bit more of a worrier? Big time. Okay. So your dad shows me your mom sitting in like a recliner chair or just like one of the bigger comfy like single chairs, kind of like what Gatsby's laying in, but comfy, like a dad chair, if you will. Um, and he sort of comes over on her left-hand side in spirit and, like, grabs her hand that she has on the hand railing, and, like, when people, like, hold another person's hand and then they pat, like, the top of their hand like this and hold it? He shows me that, and then he tells me that she's a big worrier, and the one thing that he wishes he could do is to be here to tell her that she doesn't have to worry so much. So if at any point in time she feels like he is around her, please know that that is valid. It's called clairsentience. It's someone's ability to feel the energy, the emotion, the sensation, or proprioception of a soul's energy next to them. So if she's ever, does she really like music too? Hi, Mama Meow. How are you? Does she like music or like hymns or like older songs? I don't know if maybe she's a little bit religious. Um, I know, can't you? It's really cute, Maya. She says I'm tearing up right now. I can feel the love between them. It is really cute. Because he says sometimes if she gets nervous, music helps her. Like, she likes to hum along to, like, songs. That's why I thought maybe they were hymns or something, or if she's listening to the radio, but it's more like calm music. He says that's something that might be able to help her anxiety, now that she's living with you and sometimes things seem uncertain to her. Because when you get older, like, that transition of being older is hard, so she loves it. We're always dancing and singing. Okay, great. Well, your dad is around you and your mom. He has no complaints as to how you're caring for your mother, which is why he's very quiet and doesn't have too much to say. But he is around her. It's really cute. And you guys just keep playing your music because it makes her feel better. And he's there with you guys. So that's adorable. I love it. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna cry. Last time I cried a lot. I'm okay today. I had lunch. I got something to drink. We're not gonna be emotional. He holds and pats her hand. That's so sweet, right? Isn't it? Oh, I'll pass this message along. She'll love it. Thank you so much. No, thank you. Also, thank you for being here. And you were the first person to purchase a reading on like December 7th. So I really appreciate your trust in me and showing up and actually, carrying out your reading. So thank you. I really appreciate that. Okay. I adore you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I know I make like the podcast and the YouTube videos and stuff, but this is what I love doing. And even if it's over live streams, I love doing readings for people. It's just I appreciate you guys helping me do what I like and what I think I'm good at. I like to think that I'm good at this. So, again, today we are doing live stream readings. You guys can also ask like little metaphysical or spiritual questions that you might have, like what is it like to be a medium, ghost hunting questions, or stuff like that. But we're also doing live stream readings. So we're doing psychic medium and pet psychic readings. Hello, noisy cricket. I'm lurking. That's okay. Cat vibes. I know. Sniffles is in here somewhere. She was trying to steal my lunch. And then I have my little heater on. Oh, you guys can't see it. Maybe you can. Maybe you can't. I get confused. Oh, it's back there somewhere. But Thunnel was in here too. It got too hot. Okay, Maria, I did see. That's why I started doing what is it called? Telling people that if you want to donate, please use the direct link in the pinned comment for Foster America. Maria, I did see that you donated directly to Metapsychics. I will try to take that and make a donation on behalf of Metapsychics with the money that you donated today. I'm going to make a note for it and make sure that that money goes to Foster America. So, but please, just to keep it more copacetic, any donations for the things, use it, the link that's pinned, please. It will go directly to, um, it'll go directly to the organization itself, which is what we want. So, okay. New readings that we might have. Okay. So the next person that we have is Linda. Is Linda there? I will. I promise, Maya. If the salary in Romania would have been booking at least 2 readings until now, I get it. Um, oh, Martin Martin Sozi? I love your channel. I haven't seen the newer stuff. I've been away from social media for a while. Just wanted to show some love. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh, okay. So Linda is Linda Garden Lady. Hello. I'm excited for you. Thank you for supporting my existence. Okay, Linda says, "Who is around me?" Okay. um mm, okay, Mama Meow. I will thank you. I will get to your reading next. I'm just going in the order of when they're booked. So, if you have like a time constraint, let me know in the chat and we'll try and go past things like that. Like if you're at work or something, we'll go out of order, but if not, um then we'll just go in order. So, oh, Chris donated 20. Awesome. Thank you so much, Chris. So now we're up to $24 total for Foster America. Okay, you said lots of people have. Oh, Donna does too. Now we're up to $44. Okay, so with I'm sorry, with Linda. Linda, do you have a son that's passed? Or someone who was like a son, maybe a nephew? No. Okay, I can be wrong. Um, you don't have a brother who would have passed when they were younger, do you? No brother. Okay. Hey yo, hi Emma. Everyone with the heyos. So I'm just wondering, because you said who is around me. So without asking if there's more of a specific person that you would want to talk to, one younger sister still here. Okay. Um, this is a little more abstract. And again, I can be wrong. And if I'm wrong, that's okay. But I'm just going to tell you what I see and then we can move on to a different question. But do you, sorry, not do you. I have too many things going on in my head. I'll write that down so I don't forget. Um, okay. So you asked if someone is around you, and when I sort of put my mediumship hat on and try to look at the energy around you, mom passed 3.5 years ago. Okay, got it. Um, spicy. Okay. I can do this. So when I sort of scan the energy around you on my left hand side, and for me as a medium specifically, and it can be different for other mediums, but just for me, on my left hand side and on your left hand side, I you're giving me so much information now. You don't have to. It's okay. I'll just explain this to who this could be. Not necessarily. I'm just going to tell you who's around you first. So, around you physically. So, on my left-hand side, that represents someone who is more so physically around you. On my right-hand side, that's more souls and spirits that are in heaven who look down and help watch over you. But when I see a soul on my left-hand side and on your left-hand side standing next to you, that tells me that that soul, even though they may be passed over into heaven, they have a job or a responsibility or some sort of reason why they're here more physically, like within our realm of physical existence to help guide you or be around you. But I see a boy, he has like brown hair, maybe sandy brown, so a little bit lighter, but it's definitely brown. It's not very dark though. It's like medium to lighter brown. And he shows me that he's like 23 years old. um, he looks like he would probably be in like late 80s, early 90s clothes. Kind of like when they had like the collared polo shirts that are a little bit bigger and baggier with just like a pair of jeans or like cargo pants. Um, but I don't know who he is. That's why I asked if perhaps you had like a son who passed or a nephew or someone that was like a brother. Um, but I see them to the left of you. And other than the fact that they're around you, I don't necessarily know who they are or who they might be. And it's not a bad thing. I don't get any sort of like negative energy vibes or that he has a problem. But for some reason, he's around you. And I just didn't know if you might know who he is. I don't know. Were you a teacher at some point in time? Hi, Rosie. Hello. A house ghost, perhaps? Ray says. I mean, possibly a house ghost. I mean, like, not a teacher. Okay. That's all right. I don't know why this boy would be around you. That's why I asked maybe, um, you don't have any sons, no sons, not at all. I'm just wondering if maybe this might be like a friend of a son who might have passed or maybe took their own life when they were younger. I don't know. And it's okay. Interesting. No Dons. Okay, that's all right. That's all right. I don't know who he is. Again, I could be wrong. I could be entirely wrong, but it's more of my job as a medium to tell you what it is that I see, then filter it out, kind of like when the mailman puts things in your mailbox, you're like, this is trash. I don't need this bill or this like advertisement, but I try not to necessarily say which things are important and which ones aren't. So, okay, I could be wrong. Hello, Kayla. It's nice to see you. Okay, so moving on. So I do want to ask too, there's like an older man who I see more so on my right hand side. So this would be like someone in spirit, someone who's passed. I feel like they had a beard at one point in time and they were a little bit chubbier, maybe like a husky build, if you will. I'll try to ask him to come in my dream tonight. Oh, okay. Yeah. If you're okay with doing that, I don't think he's bad. So inviting something or this soul of a boy isn't a bad thing. He just shows me that you're usually very calm, but you're funny too. So he may just be more of like a transient soul that is hanging out, perhaps. Um, or again, I'm entirely wrong, and there's actually not anybody there. So, but oh no, let's not do that. Okay, there we go. Um, so there's an older man. Hello. There's an older man who has like a beard and he's kind of chubby. He gives me a little bit like he would have been like a blue collar worker, maybe liked motorcycles or been in I try not to take things too seriously. That's good. um he may have liked motorcycles or working on cars or engines. I don't know if this could be your dad, but he shows me himself more like in his late 50s to mid 60s. And his beard is gray and his hair is also gray. Do you know who this might be? He has like a really hearty, sort of rusty laugh too. Do you know who this might be, Linda? Starkiss. That sounds like my dad. Also, happy holidays. I think it's Agia. Hello. Thank you for tuning in. If you guys haven't liked the live stream yet, please like it. There's 23 of you here and 12 likes. I think Linda's replying. No idea. I don't know too many relatives, just that they died during World War II. Oh, okay. This couldn't be your dad, could it? No, your dad's much more like put together than this man. Yeah. Thank you. Ray says liked. Was your dad much more put together and sort of like, I mean, maybe a little serious, but he's not as like, I don't know, this more rough around the edges bearded guy is a little more like Cheech and Chong. Not necessarily the like marijuana part, but like laid back kind of guy. I have a picture of my dad with a motorcycle. Much more serious, yes. Okay, because when I kind of try to ask your dad to step forward, he's much more serious. And he's like, that is not me. I am not this bearded man. Okay, that's all right. Um, I don't know if this guy might be an uncle for you or a great uncle, perhaps. This older man with the beard who's kind of chubby. But I just see him in a garage and it looks like he would have worked on cars or motorcycles or something like that. So maybe he's someone that's related to your dad. But he has more of a funny side to him. He comes off as being really serious, but he's kind of the person that doesn't talk very much. But as soon as you say like there's a funny break in the sentence, he says like he like makes a small inappropriate joke. So, if you could figure out if maybe that's like an uncle for you perhaps or a great uncle, I'm not sure. Um you did mention your mom though too. So, perhaps your mom wants to step forward. Was your mom spicy? Was she very sassy? Because when you talk about your mom, I feel like there's a woman that steps forward who's a little more sassy. Mom was very bitter. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh like that, but oh, that is so funny. What is your mother's name? Because I feel like this could be her. Oops, lol. That's what Emma says. Um, she comes forward with like her hands crossed. And for me, I would like to say that's sassy, but if you use the word bitter, that is totally okay. Angry at my dad, okay. um, I feel like your mom is coming through the strongest and the most like prominently. Was she like she shows me when she had like color, like her hair still had color. Did your mom have brown hair or did she like dye it with like henna, maybe a little red, like reddish brown, maybe? Old German name starts with an O. Oh, is it like Olga or something? Did your mom have brown hair? Brownish, dirty blonde. Okay, got it, got it, got it. Um, because she shows me when she was a little bit younger. But it's like that shorter style that they had back in the day. Even when women were younger, they kept it short and like curly kind of. Um, do you have any questions for your mom? She was so pretty. That's so cute. Yes. Okay, what questions do you have? Because she's here, but she's just waiting with her arms crossed. Like, I'll show up, but you gotta have the questions. And she says no silly questions, like you're doing fine type of thing. Um, I wonder if she made up with my dad. Did they split or did they not split, but she wanted to get like a divorce, but because of the day and age, they just didn't? I know she's dancing. They split. Okay. Did he take money or something? Because she talks about like money. That was the thing that really made her annoyed. Like the other things she could think about, but when it not think about the other things that he did, she could see, but when it finally came to like splitting and what her fair share was, she's like, you should have at least given me this money and you didn't, which was just like the topping, like the icing on the cake of making her really angry. We never had any, and she always felt gypped. Okay, yeah, because she's like, "He did this, he did that, he did this." I can understand why he did those things because men are sorry, not to be rude, I don't think all men are trash, but she's like, "Because men are trash, he did these things." Like there may have been cheating involved, things like that. But she goes, "When it finally came to me getting what I should have as his wife, I didn't even get any of those things." She's like, "So at the last time, I figured that he would give me at least what I should have, even though he made all these crappy decisions, and he didn't." And that's really, really what made her angry. Linda Garden Lady says, "Bitter," as I said. Oh my goodness. Your mom is a character. I appreciate that. Because I'm like, I'm asking you to ask her questions, and she's telling me, "Don't ask me stupid questions like how am I doing?" Um, sorry, you asked if she reconciled with your dad because I was just gonna ask her. I was like, what didn't she ask you a question that wasn't stupid?" Um, she was angry all the time. Oh my goodness. Um, I try to take everything with a grain of salt. Yeah, no, I totally understand. My parents are divorced too, and I try to take a grain of salt with the things that they say about each other as well. So, um, now when it comes to reconciling with your dad though, because she just reminded me that is what your question was. She says that he has to talk to her and she has talked to him. However, they are still I want to say they're reconciled, but it's more so they've talked about it and they still haven't reached like They've accepted what has happened and chosen to not necessarily, like, get back together, but they have talked about it. And they've agreed to disagree. I hope that answers your question. So instead of I mean, they've reconciled, but in terms of agreeing to disagree. I hope that answers your question, Linda. Kind of what I thought. Is my Aunt Lottie there? Is your Aunt Lottie just cute as a button? Did she smoke and did she kind of she also has, like, the short hairdo, but her hairdo's, like, blonde, or her hair is blonde. Do you know is that Lottie when she was younger? I hear her voice in my head so soft and kind. Yes, okay, good. Yes, she is there. She she's so cute. She just wants to say, like, "How are you doing, darling?" Um, she's happy that you asked about her. She's excited about the holidays. Um, do you have a picture of her or something, Linda? From when she was, like, I don't know, maybe getting a little bit older, but she was still really cute? She shows me, like, an old picture, like, in an old picture frame of her. She may have been dressed up for some reason. I have twin boy grandsons, yes. I'm so confused. I don't think I asked about grandsons. Maybe I did. Did I say something that I'm not paying attention to? We always dressed up back then. Okay. Super, super cute. Because she just shows me this really cute picture of her that you have, and she likes that you have it. Also, congratulations on twin grandsons. That's really cool. So, okay. Do you have any questions for her? She's just happy that you asked. She says that she knows that you're doing fine. Talking about the holidays. Everyone posed back then. That's so cute. My husband loves to take candid pictures of me, and it makes me absolutely annoyed. He takes the worst pictures of me. It's terrible. All of the angles are, like, from down here or something stupid. So, she's adorable. She says, she just says, "Don't worry about a thing. Anybody that needs to be around you will be around you, like, if you ask them." Because if you guys are new here and you don't know, if you ever talk to a psychic medium and they tell you that they like, you need them in order to talk to your past loved ones, that is a whole big old bunch of malarkey. Your past loved ones, whether they be pet or people, know, see, hear, and feel everything, so you can talk to them just like prayer, whether you say things out loud, in your head, whatever works for you. They will always hear it. The only thing that a medium's here to do is tell you what they have to say back. So, okay, that's what I wondered. I talked to them out loud. Okay, perfect. So then she's answering your question. That's fabulous. She says, anytime you need to talk to someone, they'll be there. So that's adorable. So, so cute. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Linda. I appreciate it. Thank you for being patient. And if you figure out who this boy might be and or the bearded guy, let me know. You can email me or hop in one of the next live streams and remind me because I would love to know. Oh goodness. Okay, let's see. Um, that can go there. No, thank you so much, especially for being patient with things that you may not know about. I really appreciate that. Because again, I can be wrong, but sometimes things can make sense later too. So if it does make sense, please let me know. And if it doesn't, I can be wrong. Love this and love that spirits also look forward to the holidays. They do. They really do. It's super cute. Okay, so again, guys, we are doing a fundraiser for Foster America, and in the next couple minutes, I'm going to put up the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption as well. I know the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is matching donations right now. So if you guys can donate, please let me know. But as of right now, unless I missed something, we're at $44 for Foundation America, which again, if you guys are new to the live stream, Foundation for America is a organization who helps train individuals in order to be hired into like the foster care work system, if you will, employees, in order to change and help people within that like sector of America. I don't really mean it like that, but just like going through things that are constituent with that, to keep children out of the foster care system in the first place. So they're trying to help train people in order to advocate and create new programs to help um, families that are like they have unstable housing, unstable food sources, or have a lot of medical problems that are keeping them from being able to like have a place for their children to stay. So instead of those kids who could be up to being into the foster care system because they don't have stable housing, their parents have a lot of medical issues and can't pay for it, or they don't have stable food, those people are trying to help find programs and create resources for parents to get the medical help that they need, have more secure housing and food so that children don't go into the foster care system. So that's what Foundation America does, or Foster America. And then the Dave Thomas Foundation helps with adopting children with a special focus on children who are older in the foster care system to find forever families. So, okay, thank you. I've heard of the Dave Thomas Foundation. Yes, Linda, that is the guy from Wendy's, the fast food place. Okay, so next person is Krista. I know that's Mama Meow. Your reading is up. Thank you for your patience. So Krista says, whoever comes in, been itching for a reading, lol. How's your family doing, Krista, by the way? No bag nutties with every donation, lol. Wendy's does have really good chicken nuggets. Everyone's good. Good, good, good. I'm glad. Okay, so have you been focusing on yourself more, Mom, Krista? I don't know if you're like taking a class to like further your education somehow, or something with like personal development or education, even if it's in the smallest way. Yeah, I've been working on it. Oh, well, your spirit guides are telling me about it and they're really excited for you. Whatever it is that you're doing, they're very excited and they just want you to know that even though it might seem like it's taking forever. Wait, did I eye roll? I don't think I did. Did I? I don't know. I didn't mean to do it sassily. Sometimes my face makes inappropriate expressions that don't match my my feelings. Like I was editing a video today for next week, and there was one part where I was like, "You don't have to talk about me," and then I made a face that looked like I was not being serious, and I was like, "That is not how I felt." But anyways, your spirit guides, Krista, are telling me that you're doing little things for yourself, and they just want to remind you that no matter how slow it may seem like you're doing, or going with your own professional development and whatever that may be, um, it is still very valid and it's going to work for you no matter what. Doing more art and working on tuning into more things. That's exciting. I know you're very clairsentient. I know this sounds weird for anybody that's new here. Krista used to be a patron for Meta PsycKicks, so I know Krista a little bit. Just to squoosh, as the Midwesterners say. So that's really cool. Um, is your husband thinking about changing jobs or getting like a promotion? Or working towards a promotion is what I should say. Because that is more so what I get on my right hand side. And that's not necessarily one person from Spirit talking, but I would say just like the family. He doesn't like what he does, but it pays the bills. Okay. He may have an opportunity to change his job and or he might get a promotion at work and he might think the promotion is silly or dumb because he doesn't like what he does. However, the promotion might give him a little more solace or not solace, solitude, if you will, because he'll be working more by himself, telling other people what to do than carrying out all of the plans, if you will. Um, so it might be a little bit of a trade-off where he is by himself more, so he has a little more peace. However, he has like more things to do from like a desk or computer or on his phone type of thing. That's exciting. Okay, good. I'm glad. So when it comes to wait, what? You've been a member for 36 months? Wow. That's crazy. Hello, new people that are showing up. Thank you for coming in. So we are doing a reading for Krista, who is Mama Meow in OG, Mama Meow OG. And I know Krista does nails. So if you want to check out her Instagram page, which I think is Mama Meow on Instagram, go check out her nails because she does really good work. So we're just doing a reading for Krista, and then we're moving on to more readings as we try and fundraise for adoption and foster care children, things like that. Nail art, I like it. Yeah, she does really, really, really cool things. So, Krista, other questions that you might have before we move on to the next reading? I feel like everything's going very well in your life since most things are quiet. As I take another sip of my beverage. And I'm also going to change the pin really quick too. So we're doing medium readings, psychic medium readings, and pet psychic readings if you're interested in a pet psychic reading. So we're going to remove that. And we're going to do this. I need this to be bigger for a minute. Haha, there we go. Like I said before, I've been working more with tuning into animals and people. Any tips other than practicing to get better? Guides told me to practice more. Okay, give me 1 second. I will help you with that. Oh, I'm doing this wrong. We need to do the other one. Uno momento, por favor. It's the only Spanish I know. Very bad at Spanish. My white face doesn't make the right faces to do those things. Okay, there we go. Now we're doing. Oh, nope. Gibba! Can I just. Nope, of course not. Oh. I wish that I had better fingers that could type and do the things that I want. Claro, thank you. It's the only thing that I can do. Okay, new website, Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption. Again, they're matching donations to last time I looked, which was last week because of the Christmas season. They've like big giant corporation sponsors that if someone makes a donation, even if it's like a little bit of money, they will match it like 100% or something. So if you're interested in more so raising money for the direct adoption of children, go for that. So, okay. Back to Krista's question before I started talking about how terrible I am at Spanish. um your claircognizance is improving. That is one thing that one of your more female spirit guides is telling me about when it comes to getting information. So claircognizance, for anybody that doesn't know, is your psychic ability of just knowing. It's kind of like all of the clairs put into one. So your claircognizance is improving according to one of your more female feeling or presenting spirit guides. And have you been doing readings for like your friends' pets and asking them if what you perceive is correct? Yes, I have. Okay, good. Because your spirit guides are just like telling on you in a good way. They're more like, like when you're really excited about your kids, so you just tell strangers how cool they are. Like the other day, they made a sandwich for themselves. Things like that. So I think what you are doing right now with your spirit guides and sort of like just stepping more, not necessarily comfortably, but courageously into your psychic abilities is what is helping you the most. A lot of people ask me, like, well, how do I know that what I'm getting is right or correct or whatever? You're not going to know until one, either it happens, or two, you ask someone and try to give them a reading with their consent, of course, and they can validate the things that you're perceiving. So you are doing well with just being courageous of like, even though you're nervous and you're scared that you might mess up or you might be wrong, walking up to your friends and saying, "Hey, can I give you a reading on your pet or whatever?" is totally the best way to go about practicing your skills. Because with more like actual working time that you have an ability to do that with other people is really what's going to help you hone your abilities the best. So yeah, I'm stepping out of my comfort zone, says Krista. Self-doubt is still a big one. Same, same, same. 100%. Because and I tell people too, if you just tell people, say, I'm working on my psychic abilities. I can be wrong, but if I'm right, let me know. So I always tell people when I start readings, like especially if I have a private reading with someone and they never had a psychic medium or pet psychic reading before, I'm like, listen, I can be wrong, but the information can make sense later. Um, so I had an experience with someone who said that they were a medium and it made me so sad because I do not think that they were a medium, or if they were really, really off with their reading with me. And by really off, I mean not even close at all. And the whole time when they would ask me for something, it was more like they were just fishing for information and then just going and making up their own story. And when I would tell them, like, no, that's not right, they're like, actually, it is right. And they just like were arguing with me about how when I told them, I don't know what you're talking about. And also, this does not make any sense. Like, I told them that I was there when my grandmother passed, and they're like, yeah, and you were holding her hand and it made so much sense. And she gave you this golden locket. And I was like, actually, I wasn't there when she died. I was just there for her when she was like passing, not like actively, but I was visiting her while she was declining, but I actually wasn't there. Never hold her hand. And she's never given me any golden lockets because she was poor and didn't have money. And when I told her that, she was like, no, I'm really seeing a locket and I know you wear it often. And I was just like, it made me so angry. So that's why I tell people that I can be wrong, because I will not argue with you. If you're like, I don't really know what that is, I'm like, I'm just here to tell you. Could make absolutely no sense, but I'm just going to tell you. So yeah, I will never argue with you if you're like, that's dumb. That makes no sense. I'll be like, I'm wrong. Let me try and fine tune the radio signal. So, okay, Krista, any last questions before we move on? Thank you for letting me talk about myself. Yeah, it was the only experience that I've had, like, purchasing a reading with someone that said that they were a medium. It was I cried afterwards because of how bad it was. It was oh, Gatsby, he's doing hot guy stuff, look at him. He's gonna start yowling because he's a man and he caught that puffy thing. He really likes to scream that he's all that is man. So, any last questions, Krista? According to your spirit guides, you're doing great on every front. Right? I'm wondering if he'll try to, like, run and attack it. My clairvoyance is not strong. I can still talk to energy without seeing, right? 100%. Your psychic abilities are going to like present to you in ways that are consistent with normally how you perceive the world. So if you're not somebody, thank you, Emily. He is cute. Um, if you're somebody who's not usually very visual, which is kind of interesting though, because you do such lovely, fabulous nail art. Um, if you're not visual, like in a mental space type of thing, then that might not be why your psychic abilities like work that way. However, your clairvoyance could be more of like what's called physical clairvoyance. It's just what I call it, where you're good at picking things out in your environment. Hence why, like, maybe that's why you're really good at your nail art, because you can take the stuff that you don't necessarily envision in your head, but you can make it into a reality. So you might be better with seeing things physically in your environment. I call it kind of like the Where's Waldo effect too when it comes to psychic abilities. So instead of thinking of clairvoyance as like mental clairvoyance, you can also have clairvoyance physically in your environment. So like seeing repeating numbers, or for example, I talked to this one client during a private reading one time, and she was a photographer, and she would be editing videos, or not videos, editing photos and things like that. And she said, I keep seeing like this red button every time I'm editing photos, and I have no idea what it means. And she just kept focusing on the fact that she kept seeing red buttons, even in different like photos in and of themselves, like different clients. And I said, stop thinking so much about the red button, but what do you feel, or what information do you get after you see the red button? And she, like, her jaw dropped. She goes, there's an old man. So I was like, that was like a trigger clear for her. And all of the other associated information that she got psychically after seeing that red button was not like clairvoyant. It was like clairsentient, clairaudient, claircognizant, things like that. So just know that your psychic abilities can manifest in different ways. And just because you don't have mental clairvoyance doesn't mean that you don't have like the Where's Waldo or physical clairvoyance. Starkiss says that was really helpful. Oh, good. I'm glad. I appreciate that. So I hope that helps you a little bit with like your psychic development and things like that. And according to your spirit guides, you're doing lovely. So I really appreciate you purchasing a reading, and we're going to move on to the next person. Oh, yes, that does. Thank you. You're welcome. I appreciate it. Okay, Chris. Chris, are you still here? Thank you very much for your support, Chris. Um, Chris made I think it's a pet psychic reading. Yeah, pet psychic reading. And it just says Jack. And Chris, I know what you're talking about. So Chris is also one of our patrons. And if you don't know, if you're interested, so like live stream readings are already discounted because it's not private one-on-one readings. It's just me through you and a computer screen, and other people are there to watch your reading and things. So it's, not as private. So they're less expensive. But I also have once a month on Patreon for Akasha Castle and higher, which is tier 3 and higher. We do once a month Patreon live readings. So we're in Zoom, and you can talk to me directly. You have one-on-one, like actual face conversations with me. Yes, there are other patrons that are in the Zoom meeting as well, so they can listen to your readings or be present for them. But it is one-on-one physical, well, Zoom physical readings that we can have actual open dialogue with. And that's, I think it's $25 a month for that Patreon tier. And of course, there's other things that you get access to, but that's $25 for a reading. That's like a mini private ish. It's more like a mini group reading, if you will. But you get open dialogue with me. So if that's something that you're interested in, that would be on Patreon, which you can just go to metapsychics.com and look at the Patreon stuff. But yeah, if that's something you're interested in, that's how I know Chris. And when she says Jack, I know Jack is her cat because she's been asking me about her cat. And he's an adorable little creature. So, Chris, are you still here? Please let me know. Again, we're also doing the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption things. So, hello, Caitlin. How are you? The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption. If you guys would like to donate directly to their foundation, please use the pinned comment in the chat so that all donations go directly to them. YouTube and myself won't take anything from that because it's directly with them. Oh, Chris, come on. I know you're here somewhere. I'm going to get another piece of paper and write her name down because I'm sure she'll come back. And if not, I know where to find her. Ha ha ha. Okay, if Chris comes back, people try to please let me know that she's there if I'm doing another reading, but we will come back to Chris. Is the link working for y'all? Liv read for my cat Max last time. Love the reading, worth it. Oh, thank you. The link should be working. Let me see. Yes. The medium reading is sold out. However, there are pet readings still available for purchase, according to the link that I'm looking at. Oh, Emma says, OMG Liv, did people tell you we got handwritten letters from the Draft Horse Foundation saying thank you for their donations? That is so cute. I think it wasn't Chris, Jay. I think Jay put in the Discord server for Meta Psychics Patreon that they had handwritten letters, which makes me really, really happy. So yes. It definitely worked for me earlier, so glad for you. Oh, Caitlin, remind me about your sweater and I will try to answer your question. You didn't Caitlin, do you ride buses sometimes, like public transit? Sorry, we're going on to the next reading. Somebody tell me if Chris decides to jump back in. Megan, are you here? Because Megan is the next person that had a reading with me. Also, Megan, can you tell me what the first letter of your last name is too? Yes, I do take the bus sometimes, but not for a little while. Okay, I feel like um I feel like it could have been misplaced on the bus or somewhere. I don't know if you like go to a Y or a gym or something, but they show me that it's in like a public place. So I'm sorry about your sweater. I also could be wrong. I'm very not the best at telling you where lost things are. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Oh, okay. Agia, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Megan. Chris just showed back up and I know Chris is at work. If you're also at work, I'm sorry. But Chris just says real quick. Yes. Okay, perfect. um thank you, Agia. We will do your reading next in just a minute. We'll do Chris first and then we'll move on. Okay. Um real quick, let's talk about Jack. How's Jack doing? It is so over is it too overstimulating for him? Um That's actually a good question. I wouldn't have thought about asking if it's too overstimulating for him, because he really likes to be overstimulated. However, just because he likes it doesn't mean that it's the best thing for him. Just like when Oak in the morning tells me when I ask him, Oak, what do you want for breakfast? Do you want a fruit bar, which is like a Nutri-Grain bar? And he goes, Mama, candy. So, um, I never thought about it that way. His environment may be too overstimulating for him, and he may need quiet hours. Oh, thank you, Chris. Um, so does that help? I feel like I feel like if we think about it that way, that is a good way to look at it. He does like to be overstimulated. However, I think quiet time could be good for him. So like maybe when you are at work, you could have all of his toys out, like his race car track. And yes, guys, if you're watching, Chris does have a race car track, like a Hot Wheels track for her cat. Um, so maybe that could be out for him when you're gone during the day because I'm sure you want him to be quiet when you come home because he loves to just parkour off of everything. Um, so maybe having his fun toys out when you're gone will prompt him to play when you're gone. And then when you come home, if you like just put them in a room and close the door, be like, now it's quiet time. You could try that. Does that help answer your question? Because he is very happy. I don't think there's anything wrong with him. He just is he's a kitten. And he likes to parkour. It's like that thing from The Office, but like 10 times crazier. So perhaps quiet time would be good, which means just putting his toys away. Does that help answer your question, Chris? Yes, no, maybe so. Chris, are you at work? Go back to work. Stop being naughty. because I'm at work too. Um, we'll wait for Chris to respond. But in the meantime, Megan, thank you very much for being so patient. I will answer your questions. So Megan had a medium reading while we sort of like, what did we used to call it? When I worked at Starbucks, they called it stacking or something when you were like making different drinks at the same time. Anyways, um, Megan says anyone that feels like coming through, probably a big crowd. Um, okay, Megan. Let me see. Do you have a grandmother who's just the most adorable little old grandmother, Megan? I consider myself an unusually patient person. That's really good. I appreciate that. My husband was telling me how patient he thinks I am the other day, and I was like, I don't know if that's the correct word to use for me, but I appreciate someone thinks that I'm patient. um, okay, so Megan, when I ask about like when you ask about if there's any people, there's this really adorable both, but you only met one. Okay, so there's one grandmother who's adorable. I feel like you may have known her. Um, but I could be wrong. Um, sorry, I'm just asking. She's an adorable old granny. She's very like ladylike and sort of dainty. She would have been like the quintessential granny that loved cookies or like making cookies and cooking. And I feel like if you were to go over her house, she would like make you tea or coffee and just have adorable little chats with you. And everything in her house is like doilies and adorable things. Like very just quintessential grandma. Do you know who that might be? I don't know if it's the one that you met or the one that you didn't meet, but I'm not sure. Because when I ask her if like what she thinks of you, she makes me feel like she's always been around you. But that also doesn't tell me if you met her or not, because sometimes when souls pass before we're born, they have more influence in guiding you or being like a guardian or an angel for you. My great grandma likely. Okay, okay. Did you ever meet your great grandma? Yes or no? Also, thank you for everyone who has liked the video so far. If you haven't, please feel free to like it because that helps me. I don't know, something like that. They say it helps you. I assume it tells YouTube that people like it, so then maybe it'll have other people watch the live stream, but I don't know. Yes, I did. My maternal grandfather's mother. Okay. Do you know she married a man who was in war and he died first? So she was married to a man who was either drafted or served in the war and he died first. Thank you for everyone being patient while we wait. Also, Chris, we talked about having quiet time for Jack, your tiny little cat. Does that answer your question? So, like when you're at work, leave his toys out so that he can play when you're not home. But then when you come home, put his toys like in the corner or in a different room so that he knows that it's time to not cling from the ceiling. Yes, he did. Served in World War One, I think. Okay, perfect. That helps me because when I see this older woman, she tells me that she was married to a man who she was very in love with, but he passed before her and that he served in the war. So World War One makes sense. She is around you a lot and she's absolutely adorable. Like super, super adorable. I feel like you guys are very similar in personality. like you inherited a lot of your character traits from her, genetically speaking, hence why she's someone that helps to help guide you a little bit, even if you guys didn't have the strongest relationship. But she is just absolutely adorable. Like when she sits down, she crosses her legs like a lady and she just shows me in like this little tiny kitchen that is just very like 1940s, 1950s almost. Like in the old days where over the kitchen sink, they would have the molding, like the wood and it tied into the cabinets a little bit when everything was wood. Cause I know in like the 60s, 70s, things turned into like the metal, like chic, sort of futuristic look. It's like before that. And she just has like, I can smell like cookies or something baking and cooking in the background. But if you came over, she would just make you like a hot beverage, like Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. Like you're visiting, you have to have a hot beverage and just sit down and talk to you for hours, but like very calmly. She says, we made a joke about your patience, right? I feel like you get your patience from her. And she says one of the things that you and her share too is that you see sometimes like the cruelty and the harsh perspectives that people have about the world. And it really makes you think like, what has hardened the hearts of these people who like hold these almost like grudging perspectives or viewpoints? And it's something that you guys think about a lot, but you sort of let go a little bit. You're very like introspective about other people's perspectives that you see. So, um, anyways, Megan says it was older than that. Haha. I don't know if her parent or her grandparents built it, but it was a farmhouse. Okay, cool, 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 cool. That's so cool. I love it. Um, that makes me really happy. Do you have questions for her, Megan? Also, since I'm bouncing back, Chris says, yes, I'm at work, lol, but I learned that YouTube Live is about 3 minutes lag in my phone. Sorry, Liv, you're doing great at work. Thank you. um, and then Megan says, yep, okay. Other questions you might have or other souls that you may want to have step forward before we move on to the next person, Megan. Thank you so much for your patience and everyone else that is waiting as well. I think we're sold out of medium readings, but if you're interested in a pet psychic reading, we can do that too. If it's something you're interested in. I just know that those ones aren't sold out, at least not yet. Oh. Oh, Caitlin, I can't wait to get a reading from you someday. I really appreciate that. That's very kind of you. I can't wait to meet you someday. I love meeting everybody. I really do. I've only ever met one person that was just not a nice person, and I've done probably thousands of readings. Not to be like, I haven't actually counted, but I'm sure it's been at least 1,000. I met the nicest couple last night doing a pet psychic reading. It was actually a medium pet psychic reading bundle because their dog passed tragically on Thanksgiving. But they were just the kindest, sweetest people I've ever met. And all they do is like adopt dogs that people haven't necessarily taken care of very well. So like I know the one man had Great Danes for a long time and then they had shepherds for a long time and they were so cute. It was adorable. Um so Megan says, "Was she at my brother's wedding? What did she think?" Did your brother have a non-traditional wedding, Megan? Sorry, I'm also having a very bad hair day, so if I keep moving my hair, it's just because I'm self-conscious. My question for Megan, she asked was she at my brother's wedding? What did she think? And my question back was, did your brother have a non-traditional wedding? Yes, he did. um, because I'm asking her how I should phrase what it is that she's showing me, and she says non-traditional is fine because that's like the polite way to explain it. And she says that it's not necessarily her place to place judgment. However, she said she was there because she felt she was invited and that it was her duty to like attend your brother's wedding because she's family. However, It's not necessarily her forte, but she still wishes him the best, even though their perspectives may be very different, or they may not see eye to eye on the same things. She's very ladylike. I hope that answers your question, Megan. A non-traditional wedding. How kind of her to say. The heart. Haha, understandable. Okay, good. Excuse me. Yeah, she like folds her hands because she's sitting at like this old little wooden table in this little kitchen. And again, her legs are still crossed, but she folds her hands and she goes, "It was very untraditional, but I was there because I was supposed to be. But, as long as he's happy." We had a picture of her on a memorial table. Okay, perfect. So then that makes sense why she says she was invited. Got it, got it, got it. That's very kind. Yeah, she's she's fine with it because she says it's not her life as long as your brother is happy, is what she's happy. So, okay. That is so funny. She's very cute. What is her name, Megan? Just because she's so old, I wonder if she has a really cute old name. And then we're gonna move on to the next reading. I really appreciate you making a reading with me, Megan. Thank you. He booked an Airbnb and did the ceremony there. Oh my goodness. That is so funny. Okay. Um so we are going to move on to Kristen. Kristen, are you still in the chat? I live. I'm here. Awesome. Kristen, can you tell me what the first letter of your last name is, please? H. Okay, perfect. Just because your username is not the same. I just wanted to make sure. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Kristen, thank you so much for your support. Also, Megan, if I left something open, please remind me in the comments. Like if I didn't answer everything, I just want to make sure because I'm getting to that point of forgetting everything. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, Kristen says, please contact my ancestors and grandparents in helping me navigate my life now. Okay. Um, your grandparents. I'm just writing it down so I don't forget because I'll put my phone down. Okay. Roger that. Okay, good. Okay. So Kristen, do you have a grandfather who's super, super adorable, Kristen? I feel like he would have had like green eyes, maybe, or lighter colored eyes, like they weren't super dark brown, maybe, or they were like a hazel. Um, I feel like he was just cute as a button. He had like a very square face, maybe kind of like mine, but maybe a little more like square. Mine's a little bit longer, I guess. He may have been in the military, like the Air Force or the Navy, perhaps. Um, and he might have walked with like a cane or a walker before he passed. Do you know if that's meeting someone who's a grandfather for you? Possibly he was funny. That's my grandfather. He's always been with me. Okay, cute, 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 cute. Um, Also, before we move on, is anyone else interested in purchasing a medium reading? Because if you are, I still have a little bit of time for how much time I booked out for the day for this live stream. So if you're interested, let me know in the chat below and I'll add more to the stock. But if no one else wants another medium reading, then that's okay too. Just let me know because I can add more readings for you guys. And if not, then that's also okay too. Um, okay, so super, super adorable man is stepping forward for Kristen. What is his name, Kristen? His name is Stanley, my mother's father. He looks like a Stanley. That's adorable. Okay, so you're talking about like navigating life, things like that. Um, do you have like Norse or like Hungarian, like Eastern European sort of heritage? Eastern European or more like Scandinavian, maybe? Some European. Okay. Because you're asking me more about ancestors, and for me, ancestors come in a little bit differently. So when someone asks me about ancestors, I think more so about people that are biologically related to you um, in this life, but maybe not necessarily someone that you would know about. Because when I ask about ancestors, I see that there are like big bearded, dark haired people on ships. And that's kind of the the information that I get when it comes to your haha, that's funny. Okay. For your ancestors. And I feel like there's this big giant Eastern European Scandinavian looking guy, which I know is very different. I just don't know the how to tell the difference necessarily. So it's just that's funny. So when it comes to navigating life right now, both of these individuals, these souls, are helping you. I feel like you talk to your family members a lot more. Do you have like an uncle who's passed, perhaps, Kristen? Possibly, but as far as I know, no. Okay, that's all right. Because there's like another man who steps forward who gives me more like uncle vibes. He could have also been just like a friend of your father's, perhaps, who passed, but I'm not entirely sure. Um, do you feel stuck at a job right now? I had to leave my job due to an illness. Okay. I'm very sorry about that. Have you wanted to pursue a higher education though, whether that be like technical training classes or actually going to like university or college? Um, Kristen says, that's okay. It was for my soul's highest good. I'm not interested in pursuing education right now necessarily. Okay, that's all right. Because I knew I couldn't stay in the job I was in and I had to move on. Okay. Because it almost makes me feel like I'm sorry to hear that kick cancer. I hope you're okay. Yeah, 100%. I hope you kick cancer's ass. Um, Kristen, when it comes to what I'm perceiving, I feel like at one point in time you were at your job, and I don't know if they were going to offer you like classes that you could take that could further you at the job that you were at, or if you were thinking about taking classes while you were at your last job or something like that when it comes to higher education. Um, or technical classes, like specific classes for your job. I feel like at one point in time That is what they were showing me was like your reality, what was happening in the past. However, now you've moved on. So, um, do you have a more specific question for me? And Kristen says, yes, that did happen. I had a chance at doing it, but couldn't complete it. And that is totally okay. So that's more so what your grandfather's showing me is what happened in the past. However, do you have a more specific question for me that perhaps he can help answer right now, currently? Am I here to break generational trauma? The immediate answer that I receive more so on my left-hand side, which is, for me indicates like your spirit guides and your ancestors, is yes, but it is not necessarily something that you have to consciously focus on in order to do so. No, it's okay. You can spell, it's fine. That happens to me all the time. I understand what you were trying to say. I just like type in the words wrong or, like spell check corrects it. And I'm like, no, that is not what I meant. You're doing fine, Kristen. So when you said, am I here to break generational trauma? Yes, but it's not your responsibility to consciously do it. You are going to do it through your actions of what you have to deal with right now for yourself, whether you notice it consciously or not. I'm gonna sneeze. I might. Am I gonna sneeze? Ah, they come in twos, right? Threes. Okay, no, I'm good. Um, so do you thank you. Do you, given your current situation, want to find or feel like you need to find employment? That is a question that I have for you. Yes, English is very hard. Can he tell me about the relationship that I have with his daughter being my mother? The immediate response that I get, he doesn't tell me necessarily what's going on, but the immediate response that I get is that your mom simply does not understand what's going on. Like she doesn't have the capacity to gain the perspective to have the like empathy or sympathy. Yeah, sympathy to be relatable to you. So it is not your fault. It is just like something that is out of her scope of reality. So it's hard for her to understand. Does that answer your question? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Is he helping me through that? His direct answer was that you are doing fine navigating it yourself. Is he there with you? Yes, but he says you are doing fine navigating that situation on your own. He says that she's always been a real stinker. She's not an Aquarius, is she? You might not know that, but my sister-in-law is an Aquarius, and sometimes, like, she'll tell me things, and it is not gonna work. Whatever it is that she's telling me, it's, like, either wrong, like, I understand where she thinks she's getting her information from, but I'm like, "No, Tessa, this is actually it." And she will literally look me in the face and be like, "No, it'll happen. It'll be fine." And I'm just like, I have to I have to breathe. Oh, Kristen's an Aquarius. Okay, well, you're also very to the point, so that makes a lot of sense. Oh my goodness, I love it. That's fabulous. So, he says you're doing fine. You're doing fine, sweetie. Um, Kristen, other questions you might have for me? Yes, I'm very literal. That's fabulous. Also probably very stubborn, and if your mom's also very stubborn, then. Linda Garden Lady, I'm also an Aquarius and tell it like it is. That's fabulous. How can I further my spiritual growth? Okay. Um, Starkist, same, lol. um, so when it comes to your spiritual growth, when I ask that question, um, the answer that I receive for like how, because in like the spiritual community, I feel like there's a lot of people that are like, "Oh, if you take this class, then you'll learn a lot of stuff and you'll grow spiritually." Which could be true because if you take that class, maybe it's a part of like your life path type of thing and it is something that will like lead you to grow more spiritually in and of itself. However, the way that I perceive spiritual growth is a little bit different. I think it's a lot more fluid yet abstract. It's not so straightforward and sort of like if then get this answer, like input output type of stuff. So Kristen, are you someone who in your other job helped a lot of people, or are you someone that people often come to for like advice or to have them listen, like you listen to them very well? Or if you notice someone's having a problem, you're the first person that you might not necessarily want to help them, but you don't necessarily want to see them struggle either. So you'll be the first person to ask them, like, "Do you need assistance?" And if they tell you no, then you're like, "Okay, that's fine. I don't need to help you, but I just figured I'd offer." Kristen says, "Yes, I'm very much a caretaker." Okay, because when I ask what is going to, like, what can you do to further your spiritual growth? Your spirit guides told me that there's nothing that you necessarily have to do. Again, it's just like a sequence of events. So if there's something that you feel drawn to, go for it because that could help you. However, they show me that most of your spiritual growth comes from helping people, but that's just something that you innately do. It's a part of your personality or your character. So, you're already growing spiritually when you do that, but each person that you interact with helps you grow in different ways and leads you to new growth patterns and new growth opportunities. So that is like your sort of flavor of spiritual growth, if you will. Um, Kristen says, because I know what it feels like to be alone and I don't want anyone else to ever feel that way. Adorable. Very well said. So I hope that answers your question. I also did for everyone that's watching, I put two more psychic medium readings in the queue if anybody wants to purchase them, but you also don't have to. I think we raised $44 today for a really good cause. If anyone else is new and just popped in, please give the live stream a like. And we're doing um, live stream readings. You can do psychic medium, you can do pet psychic. I also did plant psychic readings. I forgot I put those in there. I don't know if anyone wants me to talk to their plants, but if you do, it's $15. It's the cheapest reading that I have, but I love talking to plants. They always have really good tea. um, but we have a little bit of time because I planned out from 3 o'clock until 5 o'clock to do this, and it's only 4:37. So if you guys are interested in any other readings, everything should have a little bit of a stock left. Um, and if you don't, ask me some spiritual questions if you want. Or if you have $1, 50 cents, whatever, donate to the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption because they're doing adoption or like donation matches, if you will. So if you give 50 cents, then you're going to give $1 technically because someone will match your donation. Linda says, I like to be alone with my cats. Oh, I wish Fennel would come in here. Maybe she'll come in. I can call her. Gatsby's just moved to being behind my seat. Let me see if Fennel will come in. Oh, she's coming. Liv, I STG have a list I keep of questions to ask Liv whenever I get the chance. Hold on a second. Okay, cool. Is she coming? No, she just moved slightly closer. Hang on. Look at her. Isn't she just the best? Come here. Will you step up here? You probably won't. You're a big bear. Come here. Ugh. Come say hi, please. Come here. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Come say hi to the people. Come on. You can do it. Step up. Step up. You big lazy bones. Come on. You can do it. No. Gatsby will. He's like, you might have treats. I would love to come up here. Come here, say hi to the people. They've been watching you this whole time. You say hi. Say something for the people. No. She is a big puppy dog. She's a Newfoundland. I love her so much. She's the best. Um, she's like one of the only dogs that I've ever adopted and not like, well, she's the only dog that I've ever like gotten from a breeder. And she was the last out of like two puppies and two litters, and no one wanted her because her eyes were droopy. And I was like, that's the one I'm gonna get. But she's just the best. I love her. Her tongue usually isn't in her mouth. Um, she just does everything. She's also like the cowardly lion. She's kind of more like a horse than a dog because she's so nervous of things. But once she gets over her fear, she's 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 just great. I love her so much. Okay, Emma's back with her questions. Show her your little tongue. We see you. Haha. Thank you for coming in here. I know it's hot and I have the heater on. Okay, you may leave. She said, "Oh, not if you keep putting my head." Okay, Emma says, "I had a lab. I actually have a little bit of lab in them. I guess they're like Labrador because they have the retriever aspect in them, and then they're like Saint Bernard and Mastiff and a couple other things to like make them extremely like I actually think Fennel cannot feel anger. She can feel like disappointment, but I physically don't think she can feel the emotion of anger at all. So um okay, Emma says, "Do spirits who are not crossed over but hear more physically still hear, see and feel everything?" That is a really good question. I feel like if they've never actually crossed over into heaven or spirit and gone through like that, um, they always say that when you pass, there's souls that sort of come to you and you do like your life in review. So so like, excuse me, you have free will, right? So you can make your decisions and your choices, but I do think that there are things that you're supposed to learn in this life. And if you don't, then you're going to have to learn them somehow, whether they're in a subsequent life or like from from passing and then seeing like what your actions had on the effects of others. So in one way shape or form you're going to learn or have to learn things, but it's up to you whether or not you want to or actually do them. So I think if a soul has not passed over and gone through that and like transcended, quote unquote, into heaven, I don't think that they can know, see, hear, and feel everything because their soul hasn't necessarily left the physical realm. They may be energetically existing at a different frequency, but they're like stuck in the realm of physicality. Because it's almost like the reason souls can know, see, hear, and feel everything is because, in addition to being no longer a physical entity, they're that spiritual energy that we can't necessarily quantify. They're in the wrong plane of existence. Being able to go up there is what sort of gives you the eyes and ears. But if you're stuck down here, you don't necessarily graduate. It's kind of like being in a room where things echo, if that makes sense. I hope that answers your question. That was more so like the immediate, like claircognizant response that I got when I answered your question or read your question. So T. I feel like they might like have echoes of things, but I don't think it's very clear. So Oh, thank you guys so much. Okay, so SJO1408 says Stephanie O. I purchased a reading. Thank you very much, Stephanie. Okay, so I also wanted to say too, if any of you want to like gift a reading to someone, you can do so because I have gift cards on or gift certificates on my website. So if that's something you want to do for like Christmas or the holidays, go for it. Um, I always think that's fun. I love when I get readings from people and then I'm like, where did you hear from me? Have you ever had a medium reading before? And they're like, my sister got this for me as a gift. I don't know what I'm doing. They just said that it would be fun. I really like when people do that too. It makes me happy. One year I had one woman get gift certificates for all 4 of, like, her family members, and every single person that I talked to, this guy came forward, and it wasn't till, like, the 4th and final reading that I knew or was told that they were all related. It was the mustache guy. I used to tell that story all the time, but anyways, it was fun. So, Stephanie, thank you so much. Let's get to your reading. Stephanie asked, "Hello, Liv. Hello. I want to ask my spirit guides if they have any messages for me, whether it be if I need to change anything in my life or the outlook of my future career, considering the current state of my career right now." Okay, I'm gonna write things down. That's my reading. Oh, okay, Jenny Spy. That makes so much more sense. I'm sorry. Um, hey, maybe it hasn't come through yet. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Okay, Stephanie. Oh, you said that you purchased a reading. It's not mine, Liv. I did ask about my job and my husband. Let me see. When did you purchase a reading, SJ? Today? Also, Jenny S. 1 second. Yes, from this live. When did I do that? Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. I'm gonna find it. I can do this. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. SJ, what is the name that you used to purchase your reading? You can just use Stephanie. Oh, okay. Let me see. I'm looking. Sorry. Uno momento. Okay, I don't see that it went through. I would check your email and make sure that it went through. You should get like a confirmation. And then let me know because I do have one more reading in stock, but I don't have your name listed from today, Stephanie. Also, I'm going to get rid of your comment just because it has your name in it so that it's not there again. And in the meantime, I'm going to answer Jenny S. I'm sorry. I don't have it in my inventory, but there is one left. So, okay, I'll look. No, it's okay. It's okay. I appreciate you trusting me that I don't see it because I promise I don't. Um but we will do Jenny S's in the meantime. So, hi Grace Love. Hello. Okay, okay, okay. Got it, got it, got it. Also, thank you for making sure. The one person that I didn't make sure was the thing I was gonna do for someone else. I'm so silly. Okay. So let's do this. Jenny S. Okay. So for your spirit guides, that's what it was. Um, Thank you. I appreciate that. She says, "Don't worry," laughing face. This milk is really hitting hard, you know? As I make a fool of myself, Jesus. Look at that. Absolute mockery. Okay. um okay, anything to change in your life or outlook on future career? Okay, this might be a weird question because it's not necessarily like a question that you asked, but Stephanie, do you have a cat? Or not? Yeah, Stephanie, Jenny S. Do you have a cat? That is not even your name. It's Jenny. Jenny, do you have a cat? I'm so sorry. Just I don't have a cat. Okay, perfect. That's fine. Uh, I'm just getting all of the cross signals mixed up. Okay, I can do this. I offered more readings because I was like, I can do this. It's great. We have more time. Absolutely biffing it. Okay, Jenny. Um, you don't work in the government, do you, Jenny? Your career's not like a government job. Let's send lots of love power up, right? Okay, government job. I do. Got it. Um, so when it comes to changing your career, do you have a grandmother who's passed who's very like serious, very straightforward? She's kind of like a no nonsense kind of lady. She's not rude. She's just a very no nonsense lady. She'd be friends with the Aquariuses that were here today. I do. Okay, she's stepping forward to answer your questions. So we talked about free will just a little bit ago, a second ago. So I'm sure you were here. And when I bring that up, what I mean by that is when souls talk about the future, they will give me like things that are most probable to happen. However, you have free choice or like your own, you can make your own choices. Her name is Eleanor. Oh, I love that name. That's adorable. I love that name for like a girl. It was also, I had a great aunt Eleanor that I never met, but I guess she was like a really cool badass. Anyways, um, so Eleanor is stepping forward and she says that you are worried about your job and you have good reason to worry about your job because stuff with the government has been so touch and go, if you will. And she says that um, you have you have the authority to make decisions and you have a lot of options ahead of you. So don't feel like you are sort of like pigeonholed in this area or this job to stay there. You could continue to work in the government sector in a job that might have a little bit more like reliance, if you will, like less probability for it to get impacted. I do feel like she says that you have the credentials to make a change within working in the government sector, that you could still have more job security. So it's still in the government sector, but it's a different job title that has more security. She also would like to let you know that where you work though, hello Malaya. Um Wherever it is that you work, you have acquired the skills and the credentials to take what you've learned and move to a job that's outside of the government sector as well. So, she just wants you to know that you have the ability to either stay where you want but move to a more secure position, or you have the understanding, the know-how, the background, the experience to take what you've learned from this job and move into like the public sector. Does that help answer your question? It's all just up to you because you have free will. I don't see an email and you're sold out. It's okay. I'll probably purchase an email reading instead. Okay, let me see. I don't understand. Who would have purchased the last reading? And Jenny says that's awesome. Yes, that helps answer my question a lot. Okay, good. And as far as like doing what it is that you want, sorry, it still says that I have one in stock. Why is it showing out of stock? It's still there. Huh. I don't know why you're having a problem. Um, SJ. I apologize. Huh. Let me repin it. Maybe if I unpin it and repin it, it will work again. But if you want to purchase an email reading instead, because they are more economical, that is also okay too. I just don't know why it wouldn't work, because when I click on the link, it takes me to the page and it says that I have another one open still. I will try one more time. And if not, maybe it just wasn't meant to be that way. Maybe either it's a technical issue, because let's be rational, or or it is your spirits are like, we don't want our tea on the internet. Anyways, okay, Jenny. What I was gonna say is, when I ask your spirit guides about other things that maybe you could change in your life, they don't really tell me that they have anything that you want you to change. So, um, you know, you're doing good. And your grandma, who's Eleanor, Eleanor's got your back. She also would like to say, if you don't want to make a decision and you do end up losing your job for whatever reason, you still will have the ability to find a job. And it's not like, it might feel rough for a second, but again, you have the credentials in the background to secure employment at a different institution. It still says sold out. That is so weird, because when I click on it, I wish I could share my screen with you guys. That is so odd. Yeah, I don't see it that way. Huh. It's just not meant to be. Maybe next time. I'm so sorry. It can't do that. Come on, let's try again. That is so silly. Absolute malarkey. I'm so sorry. That's so weird. She says, "Bah, it still says sold out. No worries. It just wasn't meant to be." That's okay. Malaysia, yes, if you would like to get a reading, I would go to the metapsychics.com/medium live. That is a link to purchase a live stream reading. I'm going to do one more reading, whoever purchases one or not, because we still have a couple more minutes before 5 o'clock. But for everybody that's new or still watching, if you would like to donate to the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption, please do so. If not, I also understand. We have raised $44 today, and that was for now I'm just going to forget everything. Foster America, which helps prevent children from being put into the foster care system in the first place, by helping their families secure housing, food, or medical assistance. And, $44 goes a long way, I'm sure, too, with things like that. So I appreciate everyone being here so far. It has been, I mean, we raised $400 on our last live stream for the Gentle Giants Draft Horse Foundation, and everybody that donated got a handwritten letter from the foundation, which is absolutely amazing. It makes me so happy. And then I didn't post this on social media, but just as like a follow-up, I had a private person like message me on Instagram, and they saw the live stream, but they're like very, very quiet and they didn't want to like interact or anything, which is totally fine. I'm okay if people are just like hanging out to hang out. But they messaged me and they said with the $400 that we donated, they matched the donation. So that was a total of $800 that you guys helped to raise for Gentle Giants Draft Horse Foundation. So that's a lot. I went on their website, and that was actually a full vet workup, feed, housing, and grain for a month for 2 horses, 2 whole horses, an entire workup in a month of food and grain. Isn't that crazy? And you guys did that. So I think that's amazing. And I'm sure $44, again, goes a really long way when it comes to helping keep children with their families and out of the foster care system. So, okay, let me check and see if we got any last readings. And if not, I can answer a question or something and then we'll go from there. Okay. I know. Isn't that amazing? It makes me so happy. It really, really does. It's fabulous. Okay, so I'm going to take readings off. No one else seems to have purchased any other ones, so everything should stay out of stock. Um, does anyone have any last questions before we call it a day today? Like spiritual, metaphysical questions, things like that. What does spirit think of AI? That is a good question. Um, oh, my egotistical brain just gets in the way of that one. Um, I don't know if I can remove myself enough to answer this question. I feel like they might think as a whole collectively because I'm terrified of it. Mark Morales, OMG. I feel like they probably have like mixed emotions on it too, just like how people nowadays I feel like also have sort of mixed emotions on it. Um Great live, kiddos are home. See you guys later. Oh, bye. Have a good day with your children. I'm gonna go pick up mine after this. I miss him. Thank you for being here, SJ, and for being understanding with whatever faux pas was happening with that. But I feel like they probably have mixed reviews of it, because if you're talking about spirit in general, us um, focusing more on like the human aspect of things, and not necessarily. Will you ever get into aliens? Get out of here, Mark. Get out of here now. um, and not focusing on like the spiritual being aspect of it, but more spirit as a whole when it comes to just human souls in heaven. It's important to remember that souls are the same people as they were when they were alive. Same opinions, perspectives. Sometimes they can be quote unquote enlightened one day. Mark says, yes, one day the aliens. Um, their perspectives can change and they can grow, but a lot of times too still they're like, I can no see hear and feel everything, but I still have my hard set perspectives and prejudices. So I think that they probably have mixed reviews of it. So Grace Love says, do you know the feeling of ET presences versus human spirits' presence when's close? Grace Love, were you the person that asked me a question on YouTube about that? It might not have been you just because the username I think is different. I don't remember the username. Let me just read it for you guys because I haven't responded to it yet just because I haven't had the time to like type everything out. Oh, it is you. That is you. You are the person. um Okay, so I've wanted to answer your question, Grace Love, so I will just answer it right now. So when it comes to like extraterrestrials and aliens, things like that, I specifically like I know the difference when I'm talking to say spiritual beings, extraterrestrials, whatever you want to talk about it, versus human souls, because their energy is different. Um, if you think about it this way, like humans exist on Earth, right? That is one physical plane of existence. Think of because if you want to talk about aliens or extraterrestrials as like beings that physically exist on different planets or in different like galaxies, etc., or dimensions, think of Earth as one zip code, right? Like if you're dialing a phone number, it has a feeling, it has an energy, it has a vibe. Just like every state has a feeling, an energy, a vibe, like of the people. Like let's talk about Florida memes, right? That has a vibe. Florida has a vibe, an energy, a feeling to it. So when I'm talking about connecting with spiritual beings or extraterrestrials versus human souls, the frequency, the energy, the vibe is very different. That is how I understand the difference of who I'm talking to, whether it be an energetic being, again, spiritual being, extraterrestrial, or maybe like a lower vibrational dark entity versus Emma says we're probably the ghetto zip code. Stop it. Um, then when I'm talking to human souls, so the energy, the vibe, the zip code, if you will, is different because even if beings physically exist on a planet that is in a different galaxy, whatever, than ours, their energy is going to be different than the energy of Earth because it is, if you want to get it to like a more physical idea of it, the physical existence of that being is going to be different. So therefore their spiritual existence could also resonate. And again, resonance, like resonant frequencies is kind of like when you bang a gong or a drum or a timpani, a tambourine, whatever, it has a specific resonance. That's what carries the energy through it. So even though it's no longer physical, it's the sound of the physical thing, it still carries that same sort of resonance. I really hope that answers your question. Yes, no, maybe so. Malaya says, when you explain it like that, it makes so much sense. Okay, good. You're welcome. And Grace Love, that was a very good question. I've been looking at it and I'm like, I just don't have time to type this all out. So I'm really glad you're here because now I can answer it to you. So, all right. Well, it is 5:05. I'm going to go pick up my son because I love him and I miss him and he's been having fun at his auntie's house. And I absolutely just adore and appreciate each and every one of you for helping me do what it is that I love. So overall is spirit light, not heavy. Um yes, when it comes to human souls, I would say yes. Also extraterrestrial souls, like more spiritual entities or ETs, those can also exist at higher vibrational frequencies. For me, like you think about it as the speed of light, it is very fast. It's a very high vibrational thing. That's why a lot of people in the spiritual community are like, I want to raise my vibration. It's because when we are no longer physical beings in our physical bodies, we are just our energetic souls. We're not grounded or anchored, weighed down, whatever you want to call it, by physicality. So when we pass on, we go into heaven or spirit again, hence why a lot of people always like point up for heaven and are like, I want to raise my vibration because energetically speaking, if we didn't have our physical bodies, this is what keeps us in the physical plane of existence, but our consciousness or our souls exist on a higher frequency. So I appreciate your questions. They're very good. Jenny says, thanks so much for the great live live. I love watching them. I appreciate you all. Again, like I said, $44 we raised today, and that's all because of you guys. I really appreciate it. And hopefully we'll do one more live stream either in December or at the beginning of January because I have one more like what is it called? Like fundraising live stream that I want to do. I have to try and find some good organizations if you guys know of any, but for raising money for a foundation that helps provide insulin to people that can't afford their insulin that have diabetes. So that is the last and final sort of fundraiser thing that I want to do. If you guys have any like foundations or organizations, please let me know in the comments below and I'll look them up too. But that will be our last like holiday new year-ish fundraising live stream. But until then, next Wednesday, we'll have a really cute little another candid ghost hunting video that I'm finishing editing for you guys. And until then, have the most amazing days that you possibly can. Peace out, guys. Bye.